For 18 years, he was Leif Erikson, son of Erik the Red, Viking warrior, member of the Northern clan. Everything he knew about himself was true. Then a stranger arrived at the settlement, looked at Leif, went pale, started crying. "My son," she whispered, "they said you were dead. They said the raiders killed you, but you're alive. You're alive." Leif had no idea who this woman was, had never seen her before, but she knew things. Details about a birthmark on his shoulder, a scar on his ankle from when he was 3, things only a mother would know. The truth came out slowly, terribly. Leif wasn't Erik's son. He was stolen, taken during a raid when he was 6 months old, raised by the people who'd killed his real father and destroyed his real family. Everything he knew was a lie. His name, his history, his identity. And now his birth mother wanted him back, wanted him to return to the Southern clan, to his real family, to people he didn't know, didn't remember, didn't want. But the family who raised him, the only family he'd ever known, had built their lives on a terrible crime, had loved him, raised him, while knowing the truth the entire time. Who was he really? Where did he belong? Which family deserved his loyalty? Northern settlement, early autumn, 902 AD. A prosperous trading post where 2 rivers met. Good fishing, safe harbor, strong defenses. The settlement had grown wealthy through careful trade and strategic raiding. Led by Erik the Red, a jarl known for his tactical mind and ruthless efficiency in battle. Erik had one son, Leif, 18 winters old, tall, strong, good fighter. Not brilliant, but competent, loyal, exactly the kind of son a jarl could be proud of. Leif knew his origin story, had been told it since childhood. Erik and his wife Astrid couldn't have children. Years of trying, nothing. Healers said Astrid was barren. They'd accepted a childless life. Then, during a raid on a southern settlement, Erik found an infant, 6 months, old, crying in the ruins of a burned house. Parents dead, family dead, alone. Erik brought the baby home, a gift from the gods to replace the children they couldn't have. They named him Leif, raised him as their own. Leif grew up knowing he was found, not born to them, but it never mattered. Erik and Astrid loved him completely. He was their son in every way that counted. That was the story. The truth, Leif had lived for 18 years, until the woman arrived. Her name was Sigrid, from the southern territories, accompanied by 2 guards and a merchant who served as guide. She came on a trading mission, at least that's what she told the settlement authorities, wanted to establish new trade routes, explore northern markets. But she spent more time looking at faces than looking at goods. Leif first saw her in the market square. She was examining cloth at a merchant's stall, but her eyes kept scanning the crowd, searching. When her gaze fell on Leif, she froze. The cloth dropped from her hands. Leif noticed her staring. It was uncomfortable. He nodded politely, the kind of acknowledgement you give strangers, and started to turn away. "Wait," she said, voice shaking. Leif paused. "Yes?" She approached slowly, like she was afraid he'd disappear if she moved too quickly. Her eyes traced his face, his height, his build. "What's your name?" she asked quietly. "Leif Erikson." "Your age?" 18 winters. "Why?" Sigrid's hands trembled. "That birthmark on your shoulder. May I see it?" Leif stepped back. "That's an odd request from a stranger. Please, I just need to see." "I don't know you." "Your shoulder. There should be a birthmark, shaped like a crescent moon, on your left shoulder blade." Leif's blood went cold. How did she know that? The birthmark was exactly where she described, exactly the shape she described. Only family would know, only people who'd seen him as a child. "How do you know about that?" he asked carefully. Sigrid's eyes filled with tears. "Because I'm the one who saw it first, when you were born, when I held you for the first time." Leif felt the ground shift beneath him. "What are you saying?" "My son, my baby. They told me you were dead. The raiders, they said they'd killed you, but you're alive. You're here. She collapsed, sobbing, reaching toward him. Leif backed away. This woman was insane, confused, mistaken. "I'm not your son. My mother is Astrid, wife of Erik the Red. She's—" "I know who Erik the Red is," Sigrid said, voice hard now through the tears. "I know exactly who he is. He's the man who raided my settlement 18 years ago, who killed my husband, who took my infant son and told me he was dead." The accusation spread through the settlement like fire. Erik the Red was summoned, Astrid too. The settlement council convened. This was serious. Accusations of child stealing could destroy alliances, start wars. Erik faced Sigrid in the Jarl's hall, calm, steady. steady, showing no concern. "You claim my son is yours?" he asked. "Not claim, no. That's my son, Bjorn, born 18 years and 4 months ago, taken from my home during your raid on the Southern Territories. I found an abandoned infant during that raid, parents dead. I brought him home as an act of mercy." "Mercy?" Sigrid's voice broke. "You killed his father. I watched you. You burned our home. You took my baby while I was trapped under rubble, then told the survivors he was dead so I'd stop searching." Erik's expression didn't change. "I found a baby, alone, crying. I took him. That's the truth." "Then explain how I know about the birthmark, about the scar on his ankle. He got it when he was 3, fell on a rock. About the way his left ear sits slightly higher than his right. Details only a mother would know," the council murmured. Those were specific details, hard to fake. Erik turned to the council. "Many children have birthmarks, scars. This woman lost a son 18 years ago. She's desperate, seeing what she wants to see." "Then let me prove it," Sigrid said. She pulled something from her pack, a blanket, old, worn, carefully preserved. "This is the blanket I wrapped him in the night he was born. My mother wove it, special pattern, unique. No other weaver in the Southern Territories uses this design." She held it up. The council examined it. Intricate, distinctive, clearly high-quality work. Then Astrid, silent until now, spoke quietly. "I have a cloth, similar pattern, from when we found Leif. It was wrapped around him. The council requested it. Astrid brought it, placed it beside Sigrid's blanket. Perfect match. Same weaving pattern, same dye colors, clearly from the same weaver." The hall went silent. Leif felt like he was drowning. This couldn't be true. This was his family, his life, his identity. "That proves nothing," Erik said. "The cloth could have come from trade, from—" "I have witnesses," Sigrid interrupted. "From my settlement, people who survived the raid, who saw." "You take my son, who heard you laugh when I begged you to tell me if he was alive or dead. Survivors will say anything years later. Memory is unreliable. Then let's ask him." Sigrid looked at Leif. "The birthmark, the scar, details of his body that only I should know as his mother. Let him verify." All eyes turned to Leif. He felt trapped, exposed. "The birthmark," he said quietly. "Crescent moon shape, left shoulder blade." "She's right." "The scar on his ankle," Sigrid continued. "Small, curved, on the inside of his left ankle." Leif nodded slowly. "Yes." "And his ear, the left one, sits slightly higher than the right. Most people don't notice, but a mother would." Leif touched his ear. She was right about that, too. The evidence was overwhelming. The blanket, the physical details, the timeline matching exactly. Erik had one final defense. "Even if the boy was originally hers, which I don't concede, I raised him for 18 years. I'm his father. She gave birth to him. I made him who he is." Sigrid's voice shook with rage and pain. "You stole him, killed his father, lied about his death, and now claim parental rights?" The council elder, a woman named Brunhild, raised her hand for silence. "This is a matter of law and blood. We must investigate fully, interview witnesses, examine evidence. This will take time." She looked at Leif. "And the boy must decide where his loyalty lies, with the family that birthed him or the family that raised him. No one can make that choice for him." The next weeks were torture. Sigrid stayed in the settlement, wanted time with Leif to tell him about his birth father, his real name, his true family. "Your name is Bjorn," she told him one evening. They sat by the river, awkward, distant, strangers. "My name is Leif, the name they gave you after they stole you. Your real name, the one I chose, is Bjorn, after your father's father, your grandfather. I never knew him, but you should have. You should have grown up knowing your real family, your siblings." Leif looked up. "Siblings? You have 2 younger brothers, 10 and 12, and a sister, 7. They grew up knowing about you, knowing they had an older brother taken from them. They want to meet you." The information felt like a weight, a whole family, a whole life he should have had. People who were blood, but strangers. Meanwhile, Erik and Astrid were different, distant, like they were preparing for him to leave. Astrid cried constantly, tried to hide it, failed. Erik worked longer hours, avoided eye contact. The man who taught Leif everything, how to fight, how to think strategically, how to be a leader, couldn't look at him. One night, Leif confronted them. "Did you know, the whole time, did you know you'd stolen me?" Silence. The worst kind, the kind that confirms guilt. Finally, Astrid spoke. We knew there was a mother. Erik said she was dead. I believed him. For years, I believed him. When did you learn the truth? When you were 5. A survivor from that raid passed through, recognized you, asked why we had Sigrid's son. That's when Erik told me everything. And you stayed? You kept me, knowing I was stolen? Astrid's voice broke. Because I loved you. Because you were my son. Because by then, 13 years had passed. You didn't remember her. Didn't remember anything before us. Sending you back would have destroyed you. So you chose to destroy her instead? Let her think I was dead? It was already done. The crime was committed. Nothing we did could undo it. We chose to love you, to give you the best life we could. Was that wrong? Leif didn't have an answer. Erik finally spoke. I took you during that raid. Yes, your father tried to stop me. I killed him. Your mother was trapped. I told her you were dead so she'd stop fighting. I brought you home. Told Astrid I'd found you abandoned. Why? Because she wanted a child. Because I could give her one. Because I didn't think a baby would remember, would care. Did you think about what you were doing to her, to Sigrid? No, I thought about what I was doing for Astrid, for us. I didn't know Sigrid, didn't care about her pain. I know that's cruel, but it's true. Leif stood, needed to leave, couldn't breathe in this room anymore. I loved you, Astrid called after him. Every day, every moment. That love was real. Even if the beginning was wrong, the love was real. The council's investigation concluded after 3 weeks. The evidence was clear. Leif was Bjorn Ragnarsson, taken during the raid. Erik had lied about the circumstances. Astrid had known for years. The settlement's law was clear about stolen children. They should be returned to birth families, compensation paid, sometimes exile for the kidnappers. But this case was complicated. 18 years had passed. The child was now a man. The kidnappers were the settlement's jarl and his wife. Brunhild announced the council's decision. Leif, or Bjorn, is legally the son of Sigrid and the late Ragnar. His birthrights belong to the southern clan. However, given his age and the time elapsed, he has the right to choose. She looked at Leif. You can return to your birth family, reclaim your true name and inheritance. The southern clan will welcome you. Or you can stay here with the family that raised you, though you'll know the truth of how that family was formed. The choice is yours. No one will force you either way. Leif felt the weight of hundreds of eyes. Erik, Astrid, Sigrid, the entire settlement. 2 families, 2 lives, 2 identities, 2 futures, and he had to choose. Leif asked for time, 1 week to decide. He spent it talking to everyone involved. Sigrid told him about his birth father. Ragnar had been a traitor, peaceful, kind, good with numbers, not a warrior, not like Erik. You look like him, she said softly. Same eyes, same way of standing. When I first saw you, it was like seeing him alive again. She told him about his siblings. They kept his memory alive, an empty place at every meal, a name spoken in prayers, a brother they'd never met but always known existed. They want to meet you, want you home. You belong with us, with your blood. Then he talked to Astrid, the woman who'd raised him, taught him to read, healed his childhood injuries, loved him. I know what we did was wrong, she said. I've known for years. Every time I looked at you, I thought about the woman who was missing you, the mother who'd lost her son. Then why didn't you tell me? Because you were happy. You had a good life. Telling you would have shattered that. Was it selfish? Yes, but I couldn't bear to hurt you. She touched his face, gentle, the way she had when he was small. Whatever you choose, I want you to know you were wanted every day. You were loved. That part was never a lie. Erik was different, harder, more practical. You want me to apologize for taking you? I won't. I did what I thought was right at the time. Gave my wife a son. Gave you a good life. Was it legal? No. Moral? Debatable, but it worked. For 18 years, it worked. Until now. And now you have to decide who you are. The son I raised or the son she birthed. Both are true. Both are real. You can't be both. You have to choose. Which should I choose? Erik looked at him directly. I can't tell you that. I can tell you this. I taught you to be a warrior, a leader, a strategist. Everything I know, I gave you. If you leave, you take that with you. If you stay, you keep building on it. But either way, you're my son in the ways that matter. Blood doesn't change that. The final conversation was with his foster brother, Olaf, 12 years old. Erik and Astrid had adopted him 5 years ago. Another foundling, another child rescued from somewhere. Will you leave? Olaf asked, small voice, afraid. I don't know. If you go, Does that mean I'm not really your brother? The question hit Leif hard. Olaf wasn't blood, but he was family. The kid who'd followed Leif around for years, who'd learned to fight by watching him, who'd called him brother. You'll always be my brother, Leif said. Blood doesn't decide that. We decide that. Then why does blood matter for you? Such a simple question, such a complicated answer. Because I have two families now, and I can only choose one. Why? Because that's how it works. That's stupid. Leif almost laughed. Yeah, it is. The week ended. Leif stood before the council, before both families, before the settlement. Time to choose. I've spent 18 years as Leif Erikson. Everything I am, my skills, my knowledge, my values, came from that life, from Erik's teaching, from Astrid's love, from this settlement's culture. He looked at Erik and Astrid. You stole me, killed my birth father, lied for 18 years. That's unforgivable. I'll never forget that. Astrid's face crumpled. But you also raised me, loved me, made me who I am, and that's real too. Both things are true, the crime and the love. He turned to Sigrid. You're my birth mother. You gave me life. You searched for 18 years. You never give up. That devotion is incredible, and I'm grateful. But I don't know you. Don't remember my birth father. Don't remember being Bjorn. That life was taken from me before I could form memories. He took a breath. This was it, the choice that would define everything. I'm staying with Erik and Astrid as Leif. Sigrid gasped like she'd been struck. Not because what they did was right. It wasn't. Not because I don't care about you and my birth siblings. I do. But because this is who I am. Leif, not Bjorn, the person they raised, for better or worse. He looked at the council. But I have conditions. Brunhild nodded. Speak. Erik pays Wergild to Sigrid. Compensation for my father's death. For the kidnapping. Full blood price. Publicly acknowledged. Erik's jaw tightened, but he nodded. Second, Sigrid gets visiting rights. She's my birth mother. She deserves to know me, to be part of my life if she wants. Sigrid's tears changed, from grief to something else. Hope, maybe. Third, my birth siblings can visit whenever they want. I want to know them. They're my brothers and sister. That matters. He looked at everyone. I can't undo what happened. Can't be both Leif and Bjorn. Can't make everyone happy. But I can try to honor both families. The one that raised me and the one I was born into. That's my choice. I'm Leif Erikson, and I'm also Bjorn Ragnarsson. Both, always. The settlement accepted his decision. Erik paid the Wergild, substantial, enough to support Sigrid and her children comfortably for years. Sigrid stayed for 2 more weeks, learning to know the man her baby had become. It was awkward, painful, but she tried. You have your father's kindness, she told him before leaving. Erik taught you to fight, but Ragnar's gentleness is still there. I see it. Will you come back to visit? Yes, if you'll have me. Always. She touched his face, the way mothers do. I lost Bjorn, but I'm grateful Leif survived. When she left, Leif felt the weight of 2 identities settling on his shoulders, not replacing each other, coexisting. His relationship with Erik changed. More distance now, less blind trust, but still respect, still the bond of 18 years. Astrid tried harder to make up for the lie, the crime, the years of silence. I don't need you to make up for it, Leif told her. I just need you to acknowledge it was wrong. It was wrong. Every day it was wrong. And every day I loved you anyway. I know. Years later, Leif's birth siblings visited, teenagers now, curious about the brother they'd heard about their whole lives. They looked at him, compared features, found similarities. You have mother's nose, one said, and father's height, another added. They stayed for a month, learning to know each other, building something new. Not quite the sibling bond they would have had growing up together, but something. When they left, Leif felt more complete, like pieces of a puzzle he hadn't known were missing had finally found their place. He never forgot the truth, never pretended the kidnapping didn't happen, but he also never regretted staying, because identity isn't just blood. It's not just who birthed you or who raised you. It's every choice you make about who you want to be. Leif chose to be both, the stolen child and the raised son, the birth family's lost boy and the foster family's beloved child. He chose to carry both names, both histories, both loves, and in doing so, he became more than either family could have made him alone. He became himself.